All right, we're live now, brother.
Oh, hello.
Hello, hello. We got Jeffro here. Hello, Jeffro. Christine's already in here. How you guys doing?
Sorry if I'm moving around a lot.
That's okay. Your buddy Joe's here. Hi, Joe. Hey, Jody P. How you doing? I know your fish room looks awesome, brother. I'm jealous. I wish I had the time to execute my yours.
Oh, thank you. It's a work in progress. I'm not done yet. I still got this whole section right here to add tanks to. It bothers me that there's not tanks on that wall yet.
It's called OCD.
Yep, I know. I totally. You couldn't tell I'm a little OCD. Everything lines up.
Uh, no, it looks awesome, though. It looks absolutely awesome.
Thanks.
Okay. Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? We got Margaret and John, or John and Margaret. How you guys doing? All right. So if you want to start introducing yourself,
Okay.
this is Dan, guys. So take over.
Hey everyone. Thanks for having me, Jason, by the way. Appreciate it.
No
Um
problem. Thanks for doing this.
oh, and it's very nice of you to have me. My name's Dan. My channel's Sydney's Angels and Bennett's Rainbows. I named it after my two kids, Sydney and Bennett. Sydney's 4, Bennett's 2. And I got into fish. My dad was into fish ever since I was a little kid, so I would always help him with his fish tanks. He actually used to breed discus and stuff like that. He always had at least like 7 or 8 tanks, around the house. That was always interesting to me. But I only kept one tank when I was a kid. I just had like 4 neon tetras in there. And my buddy, when I was on vacation, killed them all because he fed them too much. And that was my last fish tank for a long time. So my wife's dad does real estate, and this lady was getting rid of a 90 gallon. And he asked me, he's like, do you want this 90 gallon? And I was like, at first I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I'm into that kind of thing. I took it. I just kind of started farting around with it. And then I really liked the fish aspect. I wasn't really breeding. I just had some guppies and some random fish in there. And then I saw um, videos on planted tanks on YouTube, and I fell in love. I just love the plant side of it. And then some angelfish started breeding, and I fell in love with the breeding even more. So that's kind of what got me into it. That was probably about 5 years ago. So I'm still what I would consider a newbie. I just have an obsessive personality, so when I get into something, I go all out. It's just how I've always been. So um, yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. This room, I'll show you this room. I look like a cherry tomato. I'm all sunburnt.
I
Okay,
look
so
fine, brother.
um, I think it's backwards.
We flip it.
Yeah, would you mind flipping it? Just
Yeah,
freaking me out. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So,
no problem.
if you guys haven't seen this room before, it's in my basement. When we moved here, this wall was already here. This was kind of like a workshop. My buddy was over one day. This is about 3 years into having fish, so I was really getting into it. He came into these doors. He's like, "This would be a perfect fish room." And I guess secretly, my wife was thinking the same thing, but she didn't tell me that because she knew if she did, I would have built it. So the second he said something, I was like, "Oh yeah." So it's 27 feet long. I think it's about 12 feet wide. So it's longer than it is wide. So about 300 square feet. And last year I spent about half the year building it. So we were lucky. Like I said, this wall was already here, but we still had to run electric, gas, water, insulation. I did a lot of stuff for the first time that I've never done. Like I did these can lights. So, if you look hard enough, a lot of the work in this room isn't done very well, but it worked. So, um, yeah, and then so we started breeding fish, built this room, and it's part hobby, part business. I really do like the business side of things too because it allows me a little extra money to take my family on vacations. And but it very much still is a hobby to me. I enjoy just coming down here and working on these tanks. It's very good for my mental health, and it's my happy place. I probably don't have to explain it to you guys. It's love coming down here at the end of the day and just spending time down here. So I can show you guys around. I can kind of explain how the room works if you're curious about that.
Yeah. So you
Um,
just said you've been building a fish room over the last year like this?
what's that?
How long you been working on building this fish room?
It took me like 6 months. It took me like 6 months. So like I think I started last summer, like midsummer, and I finished around November, December. Uh, I just work on it a couple hours a day. So having two young
Okay.
kids, it's hard to get down here during the day. So I spent a lot of nights only sleeping like 4 hours a night. I really wanted to get it done. So, and my wife helped me a ton. So we we did a lot of work down here. My dad came over and helped me wire all the outlets. He's a retired electrician, so that helped a lot. Um, and yeah, about 6 months, I'd say. And
That's
it's like I
impressive.
said, it's a work in progress. It's not done. But oh, thanks. I
That's
had to move everything from one part of my basement to another, and that was a pain in the butt, man. It was hard, but
yeah, no.
now that everything's moved, it hopefully it will stay where it's at for a while. We have no plans on moving or anything like that. So, but the only thing that might change in this room, so you can see, most of the walls have tanks on them.
Yep.
The the wall with the windows, kind of like the utility wall, like it's got the breeding system, egg hatching system, TV, and then there's a pond in the corner because I didn't know what else to do in that corner. Because in this corner is my heater. It's a natural gas heater that's vented out the wall. That's an exterior wall, obviously, because there's a window there.
Yeah.
And the fan blows the hot air around. I keep it around 80 degrees in here, so I don't have to heat any of the tanks. And the only thing that might change in the future with this room is obviously probably 12 more 10 gallons here or two more 75s. I can't really decide. And then my wife doesn't really like this idea, but I might do a third row of tanks right down the middle right here. It would kind of close things in a little bit, but the only size tank I don't have in here that I really want is a 20 long. And I'd love to just get like racks of 20 longs in the middle of the room and do like corridors and stuff like that. So um, we'll see what happens in the future. Who knows? But
Yeah. Sounds like it'd be very nice. I think the 75s on the wall would be a great idea.
yeah, I think it would be easier because these are 275s right here. And they were,
Okay.
so that's my breeder tank. That's got all my breeder rainbows in it and breeder angels. And then that's
Yep.
just got some angel grow out. But it would look like that, just two more this way. They would fit perfectly. Like that's what I had the room set up for. So, and I broke one of these 75s. I almost cried because these are Aqueon, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I guess some of these panels are tempered. I didn't know that, so I tried to drill one, and it just shattered. So now I don't know if you guys are familiar with overflow boxes, but I've got an overflow box. That's how I do the automatic water change on these now. They're not cheap, but if you aren't familiar with how they work, there's like a siphon that you start on this tube here, and then every time water reaches this point, it flows into this first box, siphons out, goes into this. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Goes into this tube here, and then it's plumbed in. It goes down into my drain. So I would just do the same thing if I had two more 75s.
No, is that gravity fed?
Yeah, yep. It's just the siphon. Both ends of this hose are always underwater. So when water goes into this first area, it just siphons
Yep.
right out. It's going to be really hard to see. Let's see if I can show you. This is a water line right here, so it's always underwater. So
Okay.
yeah, so like if I ran the water change right now, I could stick a hose in here, and it would flow down into this drain pipe and just go out the side of the building. That's the only way I could say. But it's a nice way to make something automatic if you didn't want to drill it.
Yeah, I drilled all my tanks. Pain in the butt.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's slow and steady and takes forever.
Yep. You can't rush it, that's for sure.
No, when I did rush, I cracked the tanks.
Yep. The only time I ever broke anything is when I was in a rush.
Yep, no,
Um,
same boat.
so, but I can show you guys around if you want to see what's in all the tanks or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you want to start in the far corner with all the fry tray, then we'll just work our way around
Yeah.
to the fish room.
Yeah. I got a flashlight in my pocket too. Let me just get a sip of Mountain Dew. I've been talking too much.
That's okay. If you ever need a break, stop talking. I'll talk for you.
Yeah. So down here are some spotted hillstream loaches. These are the only 220 longs in my whole fish room, and I really love this size tank, so that's why I'd like to add more of them. Just a couple rock piles, some Java fern, and then I got these from Marcel. You guys probably know who Marcel is. Marcel W. I don't know how to say his last name. Big rainbow fish guy. He also breeds plecos and hill streams. I know Jody's gotten some um, nice hill streams from him before too. But they bred in there. That was my first time breeding hill stream loaches. Jody P helped me out a ton. She gave me a lot of advice, and I'd like to get these guys in a bigger tank eventually. Um, and this tank is just, I'm sure you've seen Master Breeder Dean on Aquarium Co-op, his fry system. It's just direct copy of that. So you're probably familiar with how this works, but I have basically, it's a 20 long. There's sand on the bottom. I raise fish up down here as well. So these are all the Gossii cories. These are actually probably sellable now. Whoops, I scared them.
Said dossier?
Gossii, yeah, they're. I guess they're a little less common. I don't know what number they are. I just bought them not that long ago from a guy named Tyler, and I can show you what the adults look like. Let me show you. I'll just skip around to give you an idea what they look like. They're super chunky. You got a nice pattern on the tail. They're like little footballs.
That's like a
I have a,
meatball bronze kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. And they've got nice pattern on the tail. They've got like orange fins, and yeah, like a bronze kind of body. But I've got probably about at least 100 of those growing up. And then up here, I just have a bunch of different fry. To be honest with you, I don't even know what's in half these trays. It's just if I like these are some kind of cories. I'll know what they are when they get a little bit bigger. Same thing in here, more cories. These are slightly bigger cories. Let's see if I can kind of tease them out. Yeah, see them all.
Oh yeah, you got quite a bit.
I don't know. See, like I'll be at work some nights, and my wife will actually like pick eggs for me, especially if she sees like the cories have laid. So these could be either the Trilineatus. These could be the Venezuelan or the Gossii. And then I just got some. Sorry, I apologize. These are kind of messy. Get some blue eyes in here. I think those are the Luminatus, Pseudomcgill luminatus. So this corner is the newest part of the fish room. It's just a couple shelves. It's nothing fancy. But my wife got these clear containers from a woman at work, and I've been just hatching eggs in them. And it's been a really efficient way of hatching eggs. So I can get up here, and every day if I find fry that have hatched, I just take a 3D net, I scoop them out, and I just plop them in there. That way, I'm not getting any methylene blue in my like system, so I don't have to do like massive water changes on it.
Okay.
Same thing with up here. These will be hatching really soon. All these eggs are eyeing out, but I can get about 8 batches of eggs hatching out at once. So like, I don't. Hopefully, I'll never exceed that. But right now, you can see I only got just 2 different pseudomcgills going.
Yep.
It's an old TV we've had forever, but it's really nice watching shows in here and stuff. Then my brine shrimp hatcheries. I hatch brine shrimp every single day. I do this much a day. This is like a baby formula scoop. I don't know how much that technically is, but quite a bit. Um, and I use this stuff right here, regular brine shrimp
Gotcha.
direct. It's, you know what? I love the aquarium co-op stuff. It separates really nice. They just don't sell it in bulk. And I need to buy, I go through about 6 of these cans a year. So I need to buy it
6
in bulk.
games a year?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a
But it
lot.
ends up, it's a lot, but you know what? It ends up being like $25 a month, which isn't really that bad when you do the math. Oh,
No, it's just the sheer amount of eggs in there. Like I go about a year off one can.
I'd say I got it. Yeah, we go, I put them in these containers here and I keep the rest in the freezer. They stay really good in the freezer. I'm growing a giant sequoia tree.
That's cool.
Yeah, you gotta like keep it in the fridge for a while for some reason. Um, so then yeah, just your flop sink. This is a 100-gallon stock pond. I need to do a serious trim on this because you can't even see the water. But there's a really cool YouTube channel called Plant Life Project. I don't know if you've ever seen that. He really focuses. I forget the guy's name now, but he focuses on growing houseplants out of tanks. That's like his whole channel.
Okay.
He's really good at growing houseplants out of tanks, and that was my inspiration for this. I just basically went to Lowe's and bought a bunch of like discount plants and just stuck them in here and saw what worked and what didn't. So I'm not really a houseplant guy, but I've been really dabbling a lot in houseplants, and that pond's been taken over. So I just anything that's not sellable, I toss in this pond. So if a fish has like a wonky fin or the color's just not right or whatever, instead of killing the fish, I'll throw it in the pond. It can just live out its days in there. And then a lot of times, if people adopt a fish, I'll just scoop it out of this pond. So they're perfectly healthy. They're just not. They're not the quality I want to sell. So instead of killing them, I just throw them in there.
That's pretty cool.
Um, yeah,
Got
it's
a
just
beautiful life.
it's a lot. You know, I hate killing fish unless I absolutely have to. There's my fishing kitty. He's down there somewhere. So there's some pretty big rainbows in here. If we feed this, they come up and slap the surface like sharks. It's really cool. Um, Emily, Bougie, Bish, sorry, sent me these beautiful teacup platies. So they're really cool pond fish. They look really nice in here. Got a bunch of guppies growing up, bunch of rainbows in there, a bunch of plecos. Anything that didn't really look good just goes in there. But the platies look good. I just like them in the pond.
Yep.
Um, and this whole wall here is, I think, 12 40 gallons and then 19 10 gallons or something like that. 12 plus 9, 21. Yeah, 21 10 gallons. So, um,
Wow. How many tanks
tried
do you
to,
have in your fish farm in total?
I wish I would have counted. I probably 50 something, maybe 60. There's some that aren't filled yet. So
Yep.
I,
You got
I'd
quite a
say
bit.
anywhere from 50 to 60 right now. Cause like this back wall isn't complete yet. Like there's 5 tanks down here that aren't even filled. And then there's 2 more up there that I was connecting. So we can count real quick. So what is that? 12 plus 21. What is that? 30,
33.
33
Yep.
plus 15,
So
15,
45,
15.
forty-seven.
That's another 30. So 63, 64, 65, 60 something.
Yeah, you're already at 65.
Yeah, 650, maybe 65. Um, there'll be more though. There'll be more like over here eventually. So this bottom 40 gallon is got my favorite rainbow. These are the Melitania. They're not actually described yet. The Cali Moisey. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if is it looking blurry on your screen?
It looks kind of like a dirty glare on the phone or something.
Hmm.
Maybe it's
There
white.
we go.
Oh, there it
Is
goes.
that
There.
better?
Yeah.
They're not firing up right now, but actually, there's one Harva in there. If you can spot him, he's right above the he or she is right above the wood right now. But those are my favorite uh, rainbow fish. I've also got some raccoon tetras in there that I've been working on breeding. I want to put those in a 90-gallon upstairs. I really like those. And then I also have a my breeding group of L181 peppermint plecos. I had two males sitting on eggs last night, and I pulled probably over 100 babies out of this tank last night. So they've been very productive this year and last year. It's been one of our most popular fish that we sell is the L181. This next tank is brand new. It's got just regular my Bosemani Liquort strain in here, and then Jody P sent me these beautiful Hillstream loaches. They were just all out. Oh, I see one back there. I don't know if you can see it on the rock.
Yep.
She sent me a nice group of Hillstreams, and they're very, very healthy and energetic. They're out like all the time. There's one right on the. I swear they're growing pretty quick already. There's two of them. So eventually, I'm gonna probably remove all the rainbows and have it be just a Hillstream tank. I just needed a place to grow them out. They don't really look that good in this tank because it's the rocks and the sand kind of wash them out. Just to
Yeah.
like compare, like the same fish over in this 40-gallon that's all blacked out. In my opinion, they look a lot better just because they've got deeper color. I don't know if you can really.
They're so fast you can barely see them.
I know they're too fast, but I got a lot of those. Those are super popular too, and those are one of my favorite rainbows. The newest rainbow I've got is the Melitania picta. I've been looking for these for a long time. Found a really good seller on Aquabid that had a nice group of them. My buddy has bought from this guy before, and he's got really good stuff. So I'm really excited to get these breeding. Uh, just a rainbow I've had my eye on for a long time. I don't know if they're really coming up, but when they turn, they got this like fluorescent greenish blue, and they've just got like probably 4 or 5 different colors on their body. It's really beautiful, especially when they're really going in the morning. Right now, they're not as vibrant as they usually are, but even for little
so,
fish, they're already looking pretty cool.
so now with the larger rainbows, they color up more when they're just predominantly breeding. Is that how it works with them? So I never kept the larger rainbows before.
Yeah, I don't know how big these guys get, to be honest with you. I think they get pretty big,
Yep.
but I threw them up in there last night just to see if they start laying eggs. I think at this size they probably will.
They look like they're about what, 3 inches?
Yeah, they probably look bigger. I say they're about inch and a half, 2 inches.
Okay.
They've got great color for how small they are.
Yeah, they look mature apples.
I thank you. Yeah, I really like these guys. Been looking for those for a while, so gave them their own 40-gallon. They're just sharing it with a couple pearl gouramis, which I'm trying to breed right now as well.
When
I
you
got
crack it, let Joe know.
what's that?
Let Joe know once you get him to breed. He's got like a group of 7 he's trying to breed.
Oh yeah, I've bred them once before, and I had so many I couldn't get rid of them, and now they're all gone. Wow, they're hiding back there. I've got one female and one male in this tank.
Okay.
So
Now, were they easy to breed for you?
say that again. I'm sorry.
Were they easy to breed?
Oh yeah, the first time I bred them, I threw them in a 10-gallon. Within 2 days, they built a bubble nest, gave me hundreds of eggs. It was like so easy. And maybe this pair isn't mature enough yet, or maybe they just need to get separated. Because from what I understand, the male like protects the eggs once the female lays them. And maybe what
Yep.
happened was maybe she laid them and he got all territorial and ate them all. Who knows? I might have missed it, so I might separate them and try again, or just let them grow a little bit bigger.
Gotcha.
So these are some rice fish that I got from a guy in Hawaii. His name's Christian. He bought some fish from me, and then he offered to send me some rice fish eggs. These are from a Japanese breeder. He actually has a contact in Japan. And he gets a lot of really cool strains straight from Japan. So these are the Gecko Madakas. And the video is not going to do them justice. They look really good outside, but there's like a orange body and a blue body, and they have this beautiful blue like spangling on the top of their bodies. Really, really beautiful to see outside. Um, your standard stir-by Corys. I'm just growing them up so I can breed them. These are my wife's favorite Corys. She just loves the pattern and the orange fins.
No,
Just
that's
got some.
great there.
Yeah, I love these guys. My buddy's got some, and he sold his 125, but they were the biggest stir-bys I've ever seen. They're just like so fat. These guys are so small compared to that. Just female guppies in here. I got to get a couple males of this strain. Dumbo, Mosaic, Half Moon. Um, Raising up a batch of angels in this 10-gallon. We'll be moving them to a 20-gallon soon. They're just gold marble angels. It's probably not focusing.
No, it's just the glare. It's hard in a fish room with glare.
Yeah, it's so tricky, man. I'll do my best, but
No, you're
so I
doing
can
fine,
tell.
man.
Yeah, they're nothing special. I mean, I like them, but they're just a nice fish. I got another group of them down here. I can tell that these groups are going to be pretty decent. I'm not seeing a whole lot of deformities yet, so
They look good.
yeah, I love the color. There's some rice fish hatching out in here too, but that wasn't that great of an idea because these guys
Mhm.
grew a little. Yeah, they smashed them.
Yeah.
They were so small when I put these mops in here. I'm like, oh, they'll grow up together. But then these guys just exploded and they ate all the rice fish. If you look, there's some rice fish in there, but not many. So I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, the angels grow too fast.
They do. They grow so fast, and especially with the automatic water change. I've never seen them grow this fast before. But I was never before this automatic water change. I was never super consistent with my water changes, if I'm being honest. So that's probably why. Uh, these are the panda cories that I got from a customer that he just gave them to me. He said that he had too many. He wanted to give me some. They're all hiding right now. They're super cute though. They're growing up really fast. And yeah, I've wanted those for a while, so I was really grateful that he gave those to me.
That was nice.
Like, yeah, it was really nice. It's a breeding group of the the Venezuelans. I got these from Dan's Fish. There's a breeder. I forget his name. I think Rick maybe. If you go to his website, you'll see. I think they're called Rick's Venezuelans. They've got really nice orange coloration. They look even better on a black substrate. They have
Yep.
been so prolific in this 10-gallon. And something interesting I learned. Maybe just kind of got lucky. Uh, Additional flow has helped so much with eggs. So everyone knows like you want to feed them really well and you want to give them cold water changes, especially when a storm system's coming in. Like that's a good trigger to get them to lay. But another trigger is flow. At least in my opinion, I put these small. I think these are Jabao wave makers. I got one in each Cory tank down here. And the second I did this, I started getting eggs almost. I feel like every few days they were laying. And if you point them
Yeah.
right at a mop, they just lay them all in the mop. So it's just a nice. It's a nice efficient way to get a bunch of eggs.
Yeah, no, I've been telling people that for years. You got to increase the airflow. They don't like stale water. When the water moves, they start laying eggs like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't. I never knew that. And I was watching someone else's Corey video. They mentioned it, so I tried it, and they were right. I mean, look how happy they look. They're dancing around the current now.
Well, I think the thing is, that they know if they lay the eggs, they're just going to go bad if the water's too still. I don't think they bother.
That makes sense because a lot of times they'll lay them right on this
Yeah.
pump. Actually, they'll lay them like right in the flow, and if it's not there, they'll lay it on the wall that's getting beat with the flow, or right here. So
Yep.
they must know that keeps the fungus off.
Yeah,
These
I
are
got
the
it right on the airline tubing too.
Try that again.
I'll have them lay right on the airline tubing.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Oh yeah, I didn't know that. So like I said, I'm still learning a ton. I just kind of try stuff till it works, and then most of what I learn is right on YouTube. Actually, I watch other people's fish videos, and I learn so much. Or talking to guys like you. So,
That's what I learned most too, brother. It's just YouTube. It's just other people's perspectives.
yep. You watch someone do something, you're like, oh, man, I could try that. These are my
Right.
Triliniatis. I've bred hundreds of these. I love these guys. If you go to a pet store and you order like a Julie, this is probably what they're going to give you. It's not like a true Julie; they're the false Julies, but I love them. So they're nice and chunky. This tank down here is just a bunch of plants. I think there's some yellow shrimp in here, some Neocaridina shrimp, but it's pretty much when I don't know where to put plants, I just chuck them in there. So there's not a whole lot going on in there. This tank has some CPDs in it.
Some.
I breed so many of these, and I can't keep them in stock. They're just so popular right now. So I got more in this tank here. They're about to get moved to a 20-gallon. These guys can stay in here for a little longer. They're smaller,
Yep.
but I just automatically breed them. I just have them. I'm sure you're familiar with the. There's so many different renditions of this system out there, but this is just a basic moss in a cup. Air, draws them up, and then the eggs land in this movable breeder box. And I don't know if you can see, but there's already fry in there. I just changed the. Yeah, there's already fry swimming around in there. So
That's awesome.
it's very easy to breed lots of those. Um,
Jeff, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Did you run mat filters before installing the auto water change?
no. Oh wait. Let me think about this. No, never. I only my old fish room, like which is just in the basement across the way, only had sponge filters. I never tried mat filters. These are all homemade. I made all these myself, and then I've been buying the bigger ones from Swiss Tropicals. So all the 20 gallons are from Swiss Tropicals, which, in my opinion, is worth the money. They're cut perfectly. The foam seems like it's really good quality, and it's not much more expensive than doing it yourself anyway. At least with the supplies I was finding. Um,
Okay. Might have
but
to
I'm a
try them
big
one
fan.
day.
Yeah. Oh, he's what's his name? Stefan or Stefan Tanner, I think, from Swiss Tropicals. He's the man.
Okay.
He's got a lot of really cool stuff. He's been around, I think, for a long time, and he knows his stuff. Very, very polite too. Fast shipping. Uh, but yeah, I really like the Matin filters because it makes it so easy to catch fish. They can't hide anywhere. You move this pot and this rock, and then you just scoop them out.
Yeah, no, that seems very convenient. I'm kind of getting jealous.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I don't think I'll be going back to the sponge filters. I mean, I'm sure there's situations where they are nice, but
Well, your
these are
tanks
just
are so clear too, because I'm sure it's because it's a wider area that it's sucking through.
oh yeah. That's what confused me at first. Is a lot of people say um, Matin filters aren't really for mechanical filtration. Like they'll provide mechanical filtration, but they're more about biological because they just have a bigger surface for bacteria and stuff. But
Yep.
I've had really good experience with my filtration with Matin filters. Like these are all Matin, and the water stays pretty clear in all these tanks. I mean, there's a lot of algae. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but the water is pretty clear, so I have no complaints.
No,
Um,
filter is working great.
I just, yeah, if you're looking for Matin filters, with tropicals, they have really good quality so far. Uh, yeah, we talked about the programmies there and there. This tank is a mess right now. I got to break it down. Just a bunch of guppies and Venezuelan cories in there. These are my red neon luminatus, Pseudomagil luminatus, blue eyes. So they've been giving me lots of eggs lately. I haven't actually gotten any fry yet because the eggs take like 3 weeks to hatch. So they're eyeing out. They're ready to hatch. Those are pretty popular. You see those
Yep.
pretty much everywhere. Some pea
I
puffers in
figured.
here.
Oh, do you breed them too?
Not yet. I haven't really tried. I just kind of keep them because I like them. I think they're super cute and they're fun. They're like my little snail assassins. I'll throw them in a tank when I clear the tank out, and they do a pretty good job of taking out small snails. But have you ever bred them? I've never really tried.
No, I've kept them a few times, but I never really tried to breed them.
I I don't think it's hard to get them to breed. I think raising them is a lot of work from what I've heard, but I've not like I said, I've never tried. Um, so yeah, Emily Bougie, she sent me these beautiful teacup platies, and this is some of their babies. So they're super cute. They probably the most colorful fish in the whole fish room. That's the only thing that's in there. These are the fish you sent me. These are the um, orange flash apistos. You see that female sitting on more eggs,
Yep.
and then I think the male's chilling back there.
Yeah, she usually doesn't want to do with them after she has their eggs.
Say that again.
Usually after they lay their eggs, she don't want nothing to do with them. She usually kicks the male
Gotcha.
away.
Yeah, I feel like she kicks him out anytime he gets anywhere close. So yeah, this it's been really fun keeping these guys. This is my first Episto, and they're just super. I mean, I haven't done anything. I just fed them and done water changes, and they've taken care of everything else. So
No, they're very
they,
easy. If the water's just right, they spawn every couple weeks and they do great.
the one thing I did notice though is I didn't take the fry out, and they ended up eating all the babies and then laying eggs again. So maybe I got to take the fry out next time.
I never take the fry out.
Oh, well, maybe is it? You think it's because there's two females in here and only one male? You think they're like getting competitive?
It could be possible. This is what, a 10 gallon or
Yeah,
20?
it's just a 10 gallon. I'd like to move them to a 20.
Yeah, it might be just because that other female's in there. I'd probably pull her out. She
Yeah,
might be
okay.
eating the other babies.
Maybe I'll pull her out and just put her in another tank for now.
Yeah, just keep her as a
Yeah.
backup.
You sent me those as a surprise, and I love them. They're really cool. Really fun
Awesome.
to
I'm glad
watch.
you like them.
Oh, I love them. Yeah. Thank you.
No
I
problem.
don't know if you're going to
Thank
see
you.
my breeder CPDs. They're probably going to hide, but they're like super chunky. Yeah, they're going to hide right now, but super chunky. I got another batch of the Mbuna Chindongo Salusai. I can't keep these guys in stock either. Everyone wants these right now. Some of these are already reserved, so I really enjoy these. I got these in a cube tank upstairs, and anytime I see a female holding, I just grab her and chuck her in the tank, and she'll spit her fry, and it's as easy as that. I mean, I'm not a cichlid guy, but these have been very easy for me, and I love my tap water because my tap water is super hard.
They look great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they actually my wife caught that. She caught this one when I was at work again, and I can't say enough good things about her as far as like helping in the fish room goes. She's been she's been huge because I work once every third day, and when I work 24 hours at a time. So she will feed the fish and do a lot of breeding stuff when I'm gone. So that's been really nice. These are just some emerald rasporas in here. You won't see them; they always hide. Um, and now we can. You want me to show you the next? I got 12 40 gallons on this wall right here.
Yeah,
I
we
try to be
can.
a little.
Huh?
Oh, there's one of the fish you sent me.
Never seen it before.
The Amica splendens. I love. Oh man, I love those. And then,
Yeah,
yeah, that's my first good yet. You sent me some really nice ones.
yeah, such a nice big tear. That we get them going real quick.
Oh yeah, look at that female. She looks pretty huge. Her belly's
Oh,
pretty big.
they get bigger than that.
Oh, I bet. Like I
Oh
said,
yeah,
I've
they get
never fed
chunky.
them before.
Oh, they look great. They're doing awesome in your water. Nice. Great.
Yeah, I was a little worried because the water's pretty soft in this room, but they seem to be doing fine so far. I figured maybe they'd like harder water. I don't know, but if
Honestly, I
anything,
find they do pretty well. I don't do anything special with them.
okay. If anything, I might separate these guys from the Myricite rainbows. This male Goodyear like chases these big fish around. He's got attitude. He never actually really bites them, but he's always like chasing them around. So I'd like to get him in a species only tank someday. Uh, yeah, and then those are just my breeding group of Melitania and Myricite. I'll probably sell a couple of these because they're getting huge. And I have a whole lot of swim room in here. It's a 40-gallon, but there's a lot of plants in here. I actually ripped out half the plants last night. Like there was like no room in there. These are my wife's favorite rainbows, the Melitania trifasciata, collection point Blythe River. Very, very red. I've got like a purplish blue head. They get
Those
a
are nice.
real deep body. I love these. They look good all the time. Nothing else in here right now. I'm going to put a group of Corys in here. Um, Up here is my breeding group of, what are these again? I can't remember. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Chilothrena, um, Clearwater Creek, Fasciata Clearwater Creek. I might actually sell this group. I'm just not as into them as I thought I was going to be. But I've also never kept them in a planted tank, so I might change my mind once I put them in a planted tank. I bought these from Marcel too. Super high quality. Just you know, I'm not sure I like them as much as I thought I was going to. If I'm just being honest, uh, I love the body shape. They're just not super colorful. Also have two black marble angels in here, and then I've got I think 10 leopard frog plecos, 134s, and
Oh wow.
so I'm excited to breed those someday. I bought them as juveniles. They're still growing up. See if I can. Where's my grab my flashlight?
I find they grow so slow, those leopard frogs.
Sure seems like it.
I like
They're
did the for a couple years and I just sold them off. I got bored waiting.
yeah. They I don't want to freak them out too much. Yeah, they've been growing pretty slow, but they're really beautiful. I love them. And these Clearwater Creeks are nice. They're just not as colored up as I thought they were going to be. But like I said, they're not really in a planted tank either, so that might have something to do with it. Next tank is pretty empty. It's just got a group of turquoise rainbows, the lacustras. These are the only ones left. Pretty decent size, actually, pretty chunky. They're already starting to show some blue. Um, really like those guys. Those are very slow growing as well. Um, Please don't get mad at me for how many fish are in here. I did not
Oh
do
my
this on
god.
purpose. uh, these are the Chilothrena Alani. I'm sorry, Wapoga red variety. So I did not mean to breed this many. What these guys don't really eat their fry. They'll breed in the tank. Fry will survive above them, and they just grow up. So
Oh,
I'm having a hard time not breeding these guys. So which is like not typical for rainbows. Most of the time, rainbows like they'll crush their fry. But these guys are just so prolific. It's not even funny. I'm selling them for $6 a piece right now because I'm just trying to get rid of them. And when someone buys like six, I give them like 8 or 10. And it's like they're beautiful fish. They're very active, but obviously I have too many, so I'll probably put them in another tank. Um,
yeah, it looks like you got about what 300 in there, if not more.
I have no idea, but they're a really beautiful rainbow. I really enjoy them.
Is that full size on the bigger ones?
They'll get way bigger than that. Let's
Oh,
see.
really?
Oh yeah, like so something weird happened with these guys. The larger ones, I lost all of my larger ones all like within 2 weeks. So I think it was some kind of bacterial infection. I put them in this breeder tank, and see, here's a larger one right here. That's looking pretty good. There
Yep.
must have been the only thing I can think of is there's some kind of bacteria in this tank that they weren't immune to, or some kind of disease. I don't know what it was. I treated them with everything I had, and still I ended up losing like five of them, and it was only that species. So I have no idea. The water was super clean, tested zeros for everything. Here's a little guy.
Well, it happens. I went through that a couple months ago. My good day, it's the whole tank wiped out, but everything else in the tank was fine. It's just that one
Right? Like
stupid fish.
you,
And
you
no
don't
sign of.
know. Did you ever figure out what happened?
No, I just kept dumping meds and everything in the tank, trying to figure out if something would stop it, but I never stopped it. But every other fish that was not that species was fine. Just made no sense. Like you said, just assumed it was some kind of bacterial infection that they were immune to.
That's pretty much what happened in this tank. The rest of the fish
And
were like thriving. They weren't complaining, but then I lost all my alani.
those are nice.
They're, those are the trifasciata Blythe River. See that blue head?
Yeah.
When you're doing maintenance on the tank and you look down, you just see a bunch of blue bars. It's so cool. Those guys are some of my favorites too.
Well, that might be the species I might have to keep in the future. Those are really nice.
That's if anyone ever visits a fish room, they're like, that's the fish. They're like, oh, I gotta have that one. Actually, I got a bunch of babies. This tank's kind of dirty right now. Someone just bought 10 of them today. Actually, they're already starting to show some color. Yeah, those are definitely my wife's favorite. They're pretty stunning. Then they look good all the time.
Oh, they keep
There's a
that color all day round. They don't like lighten up.
what's that?
Do they keep that color pretty regularly throughout the day? Because I know a lot of the rainbows like
Yeah,
lighten up
yeah,
and darken.
they do. They're pretty red most of the day. They never really like wash out. Whereas like your parva, see this parva male right here? He just looks like a
Yeah.
silver minnow right now. In the morning when you're drinking your coffee, he's like dark orange. He's beautiful, but it's only for like 4 hours out of the day, and then he turns into that, and you're like, meh. Like a whole
Yep.
tank of those, it would be kind of boring at night. Not gonna lie. But like, there's some fish in here that always look good. Like in my opinion, the Bosmani always look amazing. They they don't really have a bad time of day. The Blythe River always look amazing. The turquoise always look really good, which is probably why they're so popular commercially. But like the Cali Moisey, these guys only look good at night, in the morning and at night. But during the day, they look like silver minnows again. So it just depends
Really?
on the rainbow, I guess. Um,
Now, what kind of angels were in that tank? Were those pearl scales?
those are my Philippine blue. I I bought. They might be pearl scale. I don't. I'm not really. I bought them from someone who said that they were Philippine blue. I bought
Okay.
a breeding. Sorry. What do you call it? Why am I?
Group?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, not a pair. Jeez, I'm having a
Oh,
stroke. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I bought two fish for 120 bucks, and my wife thought I was crazy. But then we've bred thousands of these now, so it was definitely a good
Well,
investment because they were really nice quality fish.
no, I paid 150 for my pair of blue pearl scale adults.
Like it's worth it if you got a good quality fish.
Yep. No, I agree. No, no, I love them. I just was my female was deformed on her vent, so she would never break for me. I'm very upset
Oh, that
about that.
stinks. That stinks.
Yeah, but no, I ended up breeding her to a silver. And then I got babies, gave them to John and Margaret. They bred the silvers together, and they got blues and Philippine blue pearl scales, and they gave them back to me. And now I'm breeding them all over again.
Oh, that's cool.
So it all worked out. It took a couple years.
Oh yeah, this is their baby. Yeah, we need to get more angels. I was about to buy a really nice group of full color um, koi angels.
The reds.
Yeah, like red koi.
Yep.
And then the seller was super honest with me and was just like, "Hey, these aren't the quality that I thought they were. Like, I'm gonna give you a refund. I'll check back in with you next batch," which I thought was really cool. Um, so I guess he just got real high standards for like the fish he sends. I showed you the Bosemani up there already. This is my Kalitawa tank, all juveniles, and then I got like 5 yo-yo loaches, just doing yo-yo loach stuff in there right now. Those are brand new. I've never kept them before, but I love them. They're so much fun to watch.
They look good.
Yeah, they're so active. The Kalitawas, I got them out of stock right now, but I'll probably put them back in stock soon. The same thing happened with the adults on those. I lost like 3 in the same week. I don't know what happened. So I'm growing those back up again. It's going to be a while before I breed those. Just a bunch of parva in there, Melitania parva. And I think I've got like 6 Corys in there, some Venezuelans. I've got some crebensis in this tank. I bought a pair of crebensis. I keep meaning to list these on the website. I just haven't done it yet.
Yep.
So they're not really, can't really see them, but they're in there. That's my water storage. It's a 220 gallon cylinder, basically. It used to hold like automotive soap. And I just washed it out really well and painted it black. I re-mineralized my RO with Seachem Equilibrium. So they've got like a pump that pumps mineral-rich water into that every day. And then there's my super janky plumbing for my automatic water change. So basically, like I can turn this whole side of the room off. I can turn this rack off in the middle here, and then I can turn this side of the room off too. So I can kind of focus my water changes where I think they need to kind of conserve water.
Yep.
I've been breeding some blueberry tetras. There's another person on YouTube sent these to me. Really, really like these guys. Super chunky. I have watched George Farmer. He's an aquascaper in the UK, and he's got a beautiful tank with blueberry tetras. I wanted those ever since I saw his fish room or his aquascapes. These are the Chinjongo Saluzai, a little bit bigger. Someone's already bought these. I'm just waiting to send them. The female's actually in here, but she swam through the pipe, and she's behind the mat filter right now. I got to catch her. So she fit back there. These are some Myrisai rainbows growing up. Not very exciting, seeing a group of rainbows. Some CPDs, not many left in this tank. This is my group of blue eyes, the Pseudomcgill furcata.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah, I really ended up with a good amount in here. Actually, I only bought like 5 initially,
Yep.
and then I just kept picking eggs and throwing them in a tank, and it's a decent amount in here now. So I get a decent amount of eggs every day, and I was gonna start selling them, but then I just figured I'd keep these as a breeding group. Looks like there's a parva in there, maybe, and some Alani in here as well. So sometimes random rainbows kind of get mixed in.
Will they cross?
Right. Oh, they will. Well, the rainbows and the Pseudomcgill, I don't know.
No, I'm talking about the other rainbows. I don't think they cross with the dwarf species, right? So I think they're definitely larger ones would, wouldn't they?
Yeah, like I know the rainbows will cross with each other, but I just won't. Oh, that's a good point actually. So I should probably pull those out.
Yeah,
But
in case you pull them on, and then you think you got something else, and you got a whole new line going.
yeah, I don't want to make a bad line of rainbows. So that's a good point. I thought I just had Alani in here. I thought I just had a few Alani, but I guess I've got a parva in there too. I just noticed that, so I'm gonna have to. So there's like an Alani,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to pull that out. It's got some Triliniatis Corys in here, and then I've got a handful of blueberry tetras that I bred. Not many, but they're getting pretty chunky already. I don't know if you can see them swimming around.
Yeah, no, they look great. How'd you breed the tetras, if you don't mind me asking?
What's that?
How'd you end up breeding the tetras?
You know what? So see this. You ever watch a channel called Lowe's Fish Lab?
No, I haven't.
I watched a video on how he created these false bottoms. It's basically egg crate and mesh. I sent Joe like a 6-pack of this mesh. Actually, I think he got them today. You basically zip tie this to the egg crate, and the eggs
Yeah.
fall through. And what I do is, it looks like the rope fell down, but I tie a rope to it, and I just keep it at the top here, and I just lift up on the rope every couple days. Give them a cold water change, heavy feedings. You'll see a bunch of eggs under there, and then you can do two things. You can either pull the adults out, or you can siphon the eggs out and hatch them in another container. Um, but I can have them in RO water. They TDS of this water is about 40, and I got oak trees in my backyard, so I throw
Yep.
a bunch of oak leaves in there or Indian almond leaves to bring the pH down, and that's all I do. I've bred. I'm just learning how to breed tetras. I'm definitely not proficient at it yet, but I'm starting to see a lot more like viable eggs. These are the raccoon tetras I've been breeding.
Yep.
I got these from Dan's Fish too. These are my favorite. They're just. I'm actually about to list these to sell some of them.
They're pretty.
Oh God, I love them. But you see the males. Like I think I got 3 males in there. They've got the bigger fins, the more red, and the females are a little fatter and maybe not as colorful, but still nice looking. I have a big group of those. Yeah, those are all raccoon tetras swimming around in there.
Man, you make me just want to keep buying more fish.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
To keep making me want to buy new fish.
Oh. That's another fish that someone just sent to me, so it was really nice. They just, but yeah, I can see how people can get into like collecting tetras. There's so many different kinds, and I want to start breeding a lot more tetras. So I'll probably be selling those. I'll probably be putting them on the website soon. I think I have about 40 of them in here, and then I got some Venezuelan quarries. They're all parked in the sand. We got some more back there, I think. Those have been really prolific too. And then these, those are just turquoise, I think, in there. I had it all written down, and then I was cleaning really aggressively one day. I cleaned a little too much. Now I don't know what's in anything, so gotta wait till it gets bigger. Yeah, just some white cloud mountain minnows in this tank here. Gonna be probably filling up a pond outside and throwing them out in the pond just to breed a bunch of them.
Yep.
Some prey cocks. They aren't in the best of health. You see that one female's got real bad pop eye. And then they had ick just a little bit ago, so I just treated them for ick as well. I got them from a local fish store, and they're breeding. I got tons of eggs in this mop, but I don't want to take that mop out till I know everyone's healthy. And then I've got some snow white, long thin, bushy nose plecos in the back there. That's a proven pair. Yeah, I'm really excited to breed those guys.
How long have you had them?
Not that long, maybe 3 weeks. So they're still settling in. Yeah.
Yeah, in the next month or two, you should start having fry. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of hoping. I actually the day that Tyler brought them over, the male was sitting on eggs. But I know with plecos, if you move them, they need a little time to like settle in before they'll start doing that again. So I've just been feeding them lots of Repashy, and actually I should probably put some wood in here. I just thought of that. I don't have any wood in here. I got like a little stick and that's it. But yeah, they're really pretty. This has got about 100 plecos in here in this 20-gallon. These are just taken out of the cave last night. They're the L181s. So, and then I've got some blueberry snails in here as well. Babies that I found in other tanks. Those are a live bear snail that I got from Moonlight Aquatics. They give birth to one kid every month.
One kid every month?
Yeah. So if you like snails, but you don't want them to take over your tank, Alexa, turn the water change off. Sorry. It turns on every night automatically at 9. It's kind of noisy.
I like how you just told Alexa to shut it off.
It's all this room's got smart outlets everywhere. So like one of these does the lights, one of these does the water change, one of these does I don't another water pump. So it's all like I can just it makes it a lot more. It's just sorry, I'm having a stroke again. Makes it easier
That's
for me.
okay. I'm getting jealous again.
More CPDs in this tank. There's the 20-gallon. There's tons of them. Um, More L181s and a ton of ram's horn snails in here. It's what seems to happen to all my pleco tanks. The snails just go nuts.
I have the same issue.
You know, yeah, because they eat the same thing the plecos eat. So it's like there's probably a bunch under there.
That and the shrimp tanks. Shrimp tanks are even worse.
Oh, I bet. I've actually never really bred a whole lot of shrimp, so I'll take your word for it.
You breed more snails than you breed shrimp.
That's how it goes with the plecos. More
Yep.
plecos in here, same thing. It's just a snail farm. Um, this tank's kind of just holding some future projects for me. So I want to. I've actually bred the cardinal tetra once before, but I only got one one surviving fry, so barely a success. I'd like to breed them again. Um, and then I've got some rummy nose tetras. I'd love to breed those guys. I had a group of like 15. I think I only got 4 left, so I want to breed those guys. And then I have some gold laser cories that are still pretty young, but another cory I'd like to add to the website and play around with. I really like those guys. And
They
then some
sell well
land.
too.
What's that?
The gold lasers, they sell phenomenal. Like you can't
That's
really
what
beat
everyone
those
says.
stuff.
That's. I mean, I can see why they're really cool looking.
Like I'll bring 10, 15 down to my local fish store. In a day, they're gone.
I bet.
And you sell them $25 a piece.
Yeah, they used to be really expensive. I think they've come down a little bit.
They're cheaper online, but you're paying the shipping, so I kind of balance it out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This next tank, I apologize. These 2 tanks, I was going to do a water change on them, but I spent all day like outside in the yard working, so I didn't have time. These are
No worries.
so it's a little dirty, but it's my
Just bring a fish room.
yeah. I mean, it's you're seeing the live and uncut. These are Wobbin Moonsters. I haven't actually looked at these guys in a long time. Uh, Might be kind of hard to focus on them, but there's one right there. My buddy gave me a nice group of them. It's not really going to focus. Really, really pretty pleco. There's one. Just growing them up. Be moving them to a 40-gallon probably soon. Showed you the Blythe River already. There's a bunch in there. And then there's a bunch of L181s in here, just larger ones. Got a
Dude, you're
breeding.
crushing with the peppermints, huh?
Yeah, you know what? They just once they get going, they give me babies like every month. So there's been times where I've just given like a whole cave of babies to my buddy because I'm like I don't have room for these guys. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, they're just I
Prolific.
put them in that 40-gallon and I left them alone and they've just been producing. Um, this is the first 2 fish I've ever bred. This is what got me into breeding fish. Were angelfish. So um, these are the offspring of a couple gold marble angels I used to have. And these guys will actually sit on eggs and raise the fry and actually keep the fry alive. So I moved them to their own tank because I want to see them raise their babies up. So it looks like they're going to breed probably somewhat soon. Um, Angels, I feel like breed at night for me anyway.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you say that, I always see them breeding at nighttime. Now that I think about it,
That's always like an hour or two before the lights go out. They start laying.
usually right around 8 o'clock, 8 and 9 o'clock. I always see them laying eggs.
Yep,
I just
same.
had a pair of the Philippine blues laying eggs last night. It was like right around 8:30.
That's what. Yeah, I don't know if it's like with all of them, but that's my experience too. Is they're always laying like right at the end of the night. So before I go to bed, I always check. You see, they're kind of like pecking over there. I don't know if they're going to lay tonight, but
They're getting
they're
ready.
clearly. And this is I went to a local creek with my son and daughter, and we caught a bunch of native fish, and we put them all in here. But I actually brought them back to the creek and let them go. They were cool to keep for a while, but I'd rather keep them out in nature and just breed aquarium fish out here. So I think there's like one darter in here still. Yeah, he's kind of back there. I don't know if you can see him in the middle of the screen. But we had a bunch of different darters and minnows in here, and it was cool. But we just brought them back to the creek. And I've got a feeling they don't really like how warm it is in this room. Um, so yeah, raccoon tetras, some more parvas. I don't even know Blairii. Those are Blairii.
Those rainbows.
So more like yeah, those are the Chilothrina Blairii rainbows.
Get a
I've
lot,
got
huh?
a yeah, there's decent group in here. Probably should move to a 40 gallon when one becomes available. Uh, these are my rice fish breeders, the Gecko, and then these are some Clearwater Creek, the Chilothrina fasciata. That's pretty much it. I think I've got a few more tanks around the house. I'm just growing seeds for the garden right now. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the fish room. I guess if you're interested in like there's a bunch of junk under here, but I just have like a Husky tool bench in the middle of it, kind of like my workstation. So like I keep a bunch of just aquarium stuff in here, and then it's got like a it's got a surface that comes up and down, so that's been really helpful. And then there's an aquascape tank in the middle there, but it's off right now. And then my next project, an 18-gallon bowl.
That's a big bowl.
Yeah, I've been looking for something like this forever. Local aquarium stores. It's hand blown. It's handmade.
Really?
So yeah, and I knew I had to have it the second I walked in. I walked in, and they had one full of blue eyes, and the way that this is rounded, it makes everything look huge inside. So it's like 18 gallons is a decent amount of water. It's actually bigger than this tank, but when you look at it and the way it like deflects the water, it looks like just massive inside. It was really kind of hard to explain, but really neat.
No,
So
I get it.
I'm gonna be giving its own little stand and putting it back here because there's a bunch of junk back here that I'd like to hide in a stand anyway. So there'll be a stand right here, and it'll kind of be behind this tank, and we'll have to like hang some kind of lighting. Um,
I like how you put
but
the
that's pretty
electrical
much
outlets
it.
on the ceiling.
I'm sorry, Jason, I didn't hear you.
I said I like how you put the electrical outlets in the ceiling.
Oh,
That was smart.
that was my dad's idea. It's actually on two circuits. So like
Yep.
the air pump's up there, and it's on um, the ceiling outlets. And what's nice about that is like I have all those outlets on a switch, so I can turn all that off. I just turned off the air to the whole fish room. But what's nice about that is if any of these tanks blow a fuse and all my lights turn off, the pump still runs because it's on a different circuit. So that was his idea, but I thought that was pretty smart.
No, it was
Um,
really smart. Mine's all on one, and if I blow it, I'm screwed.
that's how I would have done it too if he hadn't mentioned it. I could turn this thing back on. This thing's stupid bright. It grow. I'm about to plant some vegetables and some flowers outside, and that's actually. I wish I could show you. That's too dark now, but that's what I did all day today. I dug a trench from here all the way to the woods, and I got a really cool like water storage station I built in the woods today. I'll probably be making a video about. Um, but basically, when I run the water change, fresh water goes into each one of these tanks. It comes out through a bulkhead. That's what the bulkhead looks like,
Yep.
and it goes out of a down into a pipe there, and that just kind of pours out into the woods in my backyard. But I'm going to be saving that water so I can use it for the garden and the grass and stuff like that because it's kind of wasteful the way I'm doing it right now. And I just finished that system today, so excited to show you guys that someday. But it's too dark.
That's okay, man. Your fish room's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank
I wish I
you.
had the time and energy to prep my room like yours is. I'm really kind of jealous. I wish mine looked this awesome.
Oh, oh, thank you, dude. It's my second fish room. My first one was even like building this one. I've learned so much stuff of how my next fish room things I'm going to change. So like I think I saw this in Jody P's. I think I saw in a picture she sent me. I think she's got like drain pipes on the front. That'd be really smart to like do quick water changes.
Yep.
I wish I tried to do that, but I didn't really plan for it correctly. So maybe I'll do that in the future. There's a lot of things I would have changed. Like actually, my airline all the way back there, I got little T Rex arms. I can't reach that, so I got to use this stupid um, old person picker upper thingy to get to my like air valves. So that's another thing I wish I would have thought about. There's a bunch of things that my third fish room I think is going to be really really nice someday.
Oh, is that a plan for a third one already?
Oh, if we ever move, I'm gonna just build a pole barn. Just gonna be like a fish barn or something.
Kind of
But
like that Joey DIY did.
yeah, exactly. Because like one thing I wish I had room for, and I mean I got 300 square feet, so I'm pretty lucky. I know a lot of people don't even have that, but I wish I could walk behind my tanks. That would make maintenance a lot easier. Like if something starts leaking, I have to disconnect everything and pull it out. So, and that's a big pain in the butt. So if I had the room, I'd be able to. I would build it so that I could get behind these racks. But I knew that if I put it right up against the wall, there's a possibility I could get a third row of tanks right here. So that's why I did the way I did. Um, but I learned a lot of stuff from other people, like the gym flooring. I learned that from I think Corey from Aquarium Co-op has that in his fish room. And one day
Yep.
he's like, it's soft, it feels good on your feet, and he's like, and you don't slip on it. When I heard that, I'm like, I was doing this on concrete floors, and I can't tell you how many times I fell. So I just learned something from pretty much everyone that I watch, and I've learned a lot of what not to do that I'll change next time.
No, for a second fish room, 6 months of work, you guys did a hell of a job.
Oh, thanks. I had a lot of help. I did not do this by myself. I so you know what? I'm gonna show you these cool plants growing a monstera out of the top of this tank too. I haven't really looked at it in a while. It's actually getting pretty big. Um, don't look at this pothos. It's sad. I have not watered it in a while.
I
Yeah,
just watered all mine last night after like a month.
yeah. These things get abused. But I
They
know
sure did.
they get abused for sure. But I know we were talking the other day about just um, some of full time firemen and paramedic, and we see a lot of real sad stuff. So this fish room is honestly it's my medicine. It's what makes me feel good. If I didn't have this fish room, I would definitely struggle with the kind of stuff that we see at work. So I want to make a video someday about that, kind of trying to explain the mental health benefits I experienced with the fish room, uh, because it's pretty profound. Like this room keeps me on the path.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a happy place. As soon as you get in that fish room, there's so many things going on that everything else kind of leaves the mind.
It really does, dude. Like you could have the worst day in the world, you come down here and it just all melts away.
Yeah, you
Um,
start finding eggs and baby fish. You get all excited, and
yeah,
things just start flipping away, and then you're just in your own little world again.
yeah. I just really think that human beings were created to be around nature, and being around nature has got this like healing effect. It really does. So I'm I was actually, just to be honest with you guys, I was a real bad alcoholic for probably 8 or 9 years. Um, and then I've been sober for 5 years now, and that's exactly how long I've been keeping fish. So I guess you can say I'm addicted to fish now. But it keeps me sober, keeps me in a good frame of mind. And
Congratulations, brother. It's funny you say that because I didn't tell anybody this. But I used to be on drugs really bad when I was younger, and that was about 12, 13 years ago. Quit them all. I've been addicted to fish ever since.
dude, congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
what that's amazing. Well, it's much better addiction. It's a healthy one.
yeah, no, it's just sometimes grow up in environments that just kind of change your world, and get tired of it, and you come across something else, and it comes an addictive OCD type of thing, and then you just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's you know what though? It's definitely a improvement. It's like people they give me crap. My guys at work give me a lot of crap about like, oh man, you're so addicted to fish, or like, they give me a hard time. They do it out of out of a good place.
Brotherly
But
love.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's all in good fun. But it's a lot better than what I was doing. I would not be the man or the husband or the dad I am today if I was still drinking and doing all the this horrible stuff I was doing. So fish in a lot of ways have kind of given me my life back. It's just something that I like to tell people because it's one of those things that you might not really think about when you get your first tank, but it's really good for you. It really is. It could be a really healing thing for you. At least in my experience, it was. So,
Same. And it looks like Big Steve agrees with us. He says, "Me too, brother. Me too."
oh, good.
You know.
That's just something I don't think a lot of people. I know some people talk about it, but it's it's one of those benefits that you don't really think about right away.
Nope. You know what though? In the end, it all works out somehow.
Oh yeah. So I don't know what the future holds, but I'll be just playing with lots more fish in this room. Just enjoying it. Oh, I'm sitting on the. My wife comes down here a lot more than she used to. She'll sit here and watch TV because in the winter
Uh,
it's like it's 80 degrees. It's nice in here.
yeah, I'm sure the kids must love sitting in there too.
Oh yeah. Well, I got Bennett's too, so he's not old enough to really understand yet. But Sydney, she'll actually like pick mop. I'll give her a mop full of Cory eggs or like rainbow eggs, and she'll sit and pick them for me for like half an hour. And she's also my floating plant um, technician. So like every week I have to come through here and like get rid of floating plants because they just take over. I just did it
Yep.
last night, so there's not that many. I'm sure you got the same problem. She'll
You
come
can't
up
even
and
get rid of them.
no, you can't. I mean, they're good for. I guess they're good for the tank, but there's only fish in there. I got to get rid of some of these.
You
But
should join us on Jeff's auction he's doing next month. You can get rid of some of the rainbows.
yeah, yeah, definitely. If you think of anyone would be interested in them, out for sure.
Oh, definitely. I
'Cause
think he's got a lot of fish.
yeah, I'm trying to get rid of these guys. And like I said, if anyone buys them, I throw in a ton extra. But you don't even need to do that because some you get some adult breeding. You'll look on the top of the tank and you'll just see a ton of fry. Like I don't see a whole lot of fry in here because the juvies are probably snacking on them. But one day I looked into the tank and I'm like, oh my god, there's like 200 fish in there, and I only started with 6. So I don't think I ever pulled them off with these guys. I never had to. They just keep breeding.
Wow.
So that's a little uncommon for rainbows. I don't really think they do that often.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool at
Those are
first, but
gorgeous.
now it's like, what am I going to do with all these guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been overbreeding.
Yeah, definitely. But I didn't.
uh,
I'm really bad. I haven't been looking to see if there's any questions or anything. Uh,
that's okay.
I'm a newbie when it comes to this stuff.
That's all right. I think that's weird. All right. So I don't have any questions at the moment, but let's see. Brand said his hobby is saved him too. That's awesome, Brand.
That's
Congratulations, Big
awesome.
Steve. Said drugs and alcohol. This has filled the gap tremendously. No, I agree.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, I was in a pretty bad spot for a while. It was a couple months before I was supposed to get married to my wife. Actually, I had been trying to quit drinking for years on my own. I couldn't do it, and I actually started thinking about suicide and stuff like that. I was at a pretty dark place, so I got help. I was extremely intoxicated one day chopping wood in my backyard, and I almost hit my ankle with the axe. My wife saw. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I went. I said, I need help. I don't know what I need, but I need help." So I went to the hospital. 3 days later, I was at an inpatient addiction facility in Minnesota, and ever since then, man, I came back and I'm like, "What am I going to do with all my energy now?" I used to brew beer. I used to go to breweries. I had all this. It was my hobby. So finding something to replace that has been huge. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be fish, but it just happened to be fish in my. Some guys it's exercise. Some people it's sports. Um, for me, it's just this is what replaced that gap.
Yeah, no, I feel like, when it comes to quitting any of that stuff, just picking up a hobby and you make new friends, it's like its own little personal AA meeting. That's how I kind of look at it.
Oh, definitely.
Just it's nice just to get out of a different realm and, it's a whole new scene, a whole new life. I don't know. It's not about being around life, a bunch of fish, a bunch of animals just makes me feel better.
Yeah, exactly. It really does. And seeing like babies grow up and seeing just the miracles of nature out the plants and the fish and honestly this is a really good community of people in the fish community as well. Like I've met so many cool people. um, that's been huge. Made a lot of really cool friends, so that's something I wasn't even expecting. But there's some cool people in this hobby too, really cool people.
No, I agree 100%. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Dan here? Well, your wife's Jordan, right?
Yeah, she's Jordan. She's not really into fish, but she helps out a ton. She gets 50% of the profits, so she likes when fish are breeding because that's more fun money for her.
Well, she's
But
been answering mostly everybody in the questions. I think that's why we don't have any questions.
well, like I learned that trick from a guy at work. He enjoys to gamble on his days off, and he doesn't have a problem, but he just loves gambling. And he's like, my wife would always complain that I gamble too much, and then he's like, well, I'll just give her 50% of the winnings, then she won't complain, and she stopped complaining. So Jordan, if you're listening, she might be watching, but
Oh, she is.
you hear about it when you got like fellas know what I'm talking about, and the ladies probably do too. You might have like 5, 6, 7 tanks on your main floor, and eventually your spouse is like, all right, dude, like, what are you doing? But when I said like, hey, we can sell these fish and I'll give you half, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. And she hasn't really complained about the tank since because it's nice to have the extra money to take the kids out to we went to Mexico, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying like it was really cool, and I think we're gonna go to Mammoth Cave in a month and take them to some national parks. So that's kind of what another bonus of this hobby is. It's not only good for me, it's good for my family too because it's let's face it, like getting the kids down here and letting them get their hands wet. That's good for them. It's better than rotting in front of a TV screen, and it's also the extra money that we make doing this is great because then we can go on more family road trips and stuff. So it's just all good.
We have some questions for you. What brand of pump are you using? It's wicked quiet.
What brand of what
Pump.
pump?
Air pump. What kind of air pump are you running? Is that a
Oh, air
Gemco?
pump. Gemco. I think
Gemco.
it's the LPH 120. It's the biggest one, the biggest linear one that they got. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, it's showing up. All right, Gemco. Brendan, when can he come visit? Apparently, he lives near you.
Oh, anytime. I mean, obviously, email me. Don't just show up, but any anytime. Yeah, as long as we're home. Uh, I had the paperwork for it. I think it's a 120. I got another one. I got two Gemco pumps, but so this is the. I think I was using the 60. Let's see. Yeah, the LPH 60 is what I used to use, but that I outgrew that one once I moved to this room. So that's just kind of a backup right now. But
Yeah.
Gemco, I don't know if you've ever used Gemco. They're awesome. I really like them.
I got an old pump somebody gave me. He had like $40 for it. It runs like 100 tanks, but it's an old pump. I don't know what it is. It's been running for like 4 years straight, solid. You don't even replace anything. It's just
Yeah,
like a hunk of metal.
from what I hear, these linear piston pumps will run for a really long time, and they're super efficient. And a little bonus thing about these is they get really hot. Like this tubing's pretty warm right now. That hot air is pumping into all the tanks, so you'll actually heat your tanks by using something like this sometimes, especially if you put lids on them. I custom make all the lids. They're like just like a sliding glass lid. Uh, Not my idea. I found this online, but if you actually have a lid on these tanks, they're like 3 degrees warmer, just because of the pump. That's another little bonus thing that I learned. And another thing, if you guys don't know this, let me save you the trouble. These pumps, don't ever mount these to your the frame of your house because you will feel it in any. My daughter's room is 2 floors above the basement. If you lay your head on the pillow, you can hear that pump running because it's shaking the frame of the house. So I actually have it screwed to the concrete wall, uh, and that's getting rid of a lot of the vibration. And then I have some like gym flooring that's also taking up the vibration. But before I had it just on the actual what do you call it, the joist, the ceiling joist, and you
Yep.
could hear it throughout the house. So they do vibrate quite a bit. So something to think about. Um, and you can isolate that vibration by putting them on an exterior wall like that, especially if it's made out of concrete. That
Yeah.
will save you a lot of trouble. But
All right.
yeah,
Comments real quick. Jody says this is such a great community. Truly glad you met us all. I'm glad we met you too. Brandon gives half his money to his wife too.
the way I look at it is whether she's with me or she leaves me, she's going to have half anyway. So why not? You know, I I just think it gives her an incentive to come down here and help me. So she'll come down here and help me for like every time I have to pack fish, she comes down, she catches all the fish, and that helps a ton.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big help, especially when you got so many fish.
Yeah, like if I didn't have help down here, would be I would be up till like 4 in the morning every morning. Look at this guy. I can't wait for these guys to grow up.
I know they look great.
And there's just something
Uh,
about it that's different.
oh, they're pretty little rainbow. Joe says, Dan, you're the greatest.
Well, definitely not, but thank you.
Joe's your biggest fan, by the way. Joe loves you.
Joe's a cool. Joe's a cool dude.
He raves about you more than anybody. All I hear about you is Dan this, Dan that, Dan this. I'm like, what about me, Joe? He's like, ah.
You're old news.
Yeah, he's moved on. Bigger, better things.
Yeah, Joe's cool.
Brand, who feeds when you guys skip town?
What's that?
He's asking who feeds your fish when you're not around, when you're on
Oh,
vacation.
my mom. My mom stays here. She's she's really good at it. So I just put sticky notes on all the tanks, uh, and then I make a short video and I send it to her on how to feed the room. And I swear, every time she stays here, she doesn't even lose a single fry. I fill both of these up with brine. So like we were gone for 7 days when we went to Mexico, She just feeds every tank with brine or with like here's all my different foods. So I make it real easy. Like if a tank gets these golden pearls, I put a purple sticky note on this, and then a purple sticky note on every single tank that gets it. She comes down here twice a day, feeds everything, and it's been really nice. I know when she gets older and not up to it anymore, I'll have to find like a some kid in the neighborhood that can do it. But she's willing to come whenever we take trips and do that for us, which is super nice. She actually, I think she enjoys it. Um, Probably brings her back to the days of helping my dad with the discus because I remember as a kid, I would be riding in his van, and he would just go to pet stores with just buckets of baby discus. And back then, he was making a lot of money doing that. Um, those discus were really popular back then. They're not as popular anymore, I feel like, but I feel like the world is shifting to nano tanks. Everyone has smaller tanks.
So I feel like
But
discs have gotten so much more expensive too. That's why they're not as popular.
absolutely, yeah,
You know, like buy one at a local fish for less than like $100 for 3 inches nowadays. Like, what the
exactly.
hell?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not one of the reasons I haven't bought them yet. I definitely want some, but plus the maintenance on them, I don't know if I have the time for the maintenance on them right now to really
I
give
treat
them.
them like regular.
Yeah, I know
I've
some.
bred them, but they weren't that hard.
Really?
Yeah, no, Joe's got like 12 of them in a 55. But no, I bred them in a 29 gallon. I did like water change once a week with roadie water to breed them. I keep my 55, 75. It was like six, seven of them. I do a water change once every 2 weeks. That was really it. They were pretty easy.
I must have talked to some real hardcore discus guys that were like, someone was telling me like, oh, you gotta do 90% water change every day, and like, just it kind of freaked me out. That's why.
That's what I heard too. But then I was like, I'm going to challenge this and see if that's really true or not. But no, I put them in a planted tank. Every 2 weeks, I was doing the water change to 50% every 2 weeks. And they
No
did
way.
perfectly fine. They were breeding in there. So I'm like, to a certain extent, I don't, I take everything with a grain of salt, whatever I hear nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, if they're breeding, they're happy. Don't mess with it.
Exactly. So, yeah, they're not that bad. You could definitely do it. Seeing your fish from, I think it'd be a breeze for you.
Yeah, if you keep it happy. I'll have to send you some of these guys someday.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Let me know when you get some space available. I'll send you some.
I just ripped out my 70-gallon pond because I want to put more tanks. Like, what can I move? What can I do? What do we got? Christine says maybe I need to start making money off my fish too. Then I can pay my hubby in cash instead of smiley face.
Yeah, it's. I definitely don't do it for the money. It's probably costing me more than I make, just with all the maintenance and the water and the electric and the gas. But it's it's I guess it's a nice bonus. There's one of my credences.
Yeah, they're beautiful fish. I wish they weren't so aggressive for little fish.
I know. I just Sydney saw them in a fish store and she loved them, so I had to buy them. And I within 2 weeks they had fry, so they were pretty easy. Now I don't know
Yeah.
if they're going to be easy to sell or not. They seem pretty common.
In my area, you can't even give them away.
Yeah, I figured.
But it depends. If you put them online to get more availability, more people who are in more like secluded areas might not come across them, might want them.
Oh, and I'm not even trying to like make any profit on them. I just want to get rid of them.
Yeah,
But it was just kind of like a do it so I can say I've done it. And like I said, Sydney was in love with them. And I just
yeah,
wanted to give them a try. I'll show you
exactly. I get it. Margaret says, "What other pets do you guys keep?"
what that. What other pets?
Yeah,
Right now we just have two dogs. We got a shepherd mix, and we have a purebred husky, and that's it. I know you keep like a bunch of other like birds and stuff like that, but I don't. They used to have an iguana and some bunnies and stuff, but I have not kept any other animals besides fish and dogs, I guess. These are the Blairi, by the way.
Those things are quick, huh?
Oh yeah, they're fast. They're it's kind of hard to see because I think you know what this tank is in due for some maintenance. There's like way too many floating plants up here. It's one of the few tanks that actually has duckweed, and that duckweed just explodes. But they're really pretty. They get like this
Oh
gold
yeah.
bar in them. I'll probably sell more of these big ones because they're getting kind of big in here.
No, are they breeding in there? That's two different types of.
No, they're well, they're probably laying eggs, but I doubt anything's surviving. My
I
buddy
know
gave
like
me a
different
trio.
sizes going on.
Oh, I know, yeah. So, well, there's like some random guppies in here too, actually. This is probably just a couple different batches I've combined. My buddy gave me a trio of them, and these are the offspring of that trio. So I probably bred them 2 or 3 times, and there's just different, yeah, different, I guess, different group sizes. But some of the bigger ones are really getting pretty long now. They got like a real long body shape. And when these guys show off, they get really, really bright.
Oh, they look great. That tank looks awesome. I love the big rocks in there.
Oh,
Just gotta
thanks.
go back.
I love this tank. This is my river tank. I just went to a landscape supply store nearby and just bought some of like river pebbles. That's all it is. And it was actually wasn't as expensive as you would think, just because they're just made for landscaping. But if I had a river around here that I could collect them locally, I would. But all the river by me is just like a lot of limestone, and it all kind of looks the same. It's all like this white, just rock. It's not very pretty. So
Yep.
these are just. I just thought these look cooler.
No, it looks awesome.
So thank you. That's my buddy's favorite rainbow, so he gave me a trio of his, and they're really cool. I thought they deserved their own tank. And then there's some more spotted hill streams back there from Marcel. I think there's 3 of them in here. So I don't know if they breed in here, but the babies might just get crushed by these rainbows.
It looks like there's plenty of hiding spots if they were breeding.
Right. Who knows? Maybe I got like 3 females or something too. I have never really taken a serious look at them. I've caught most of them out of here from my other breeding tank, and then these 3 just evaded me long enough that I was like, all right, you can just stay in there. And this might be where the rest of them all end up eventually once I'm done breeding them. I just wanted to kind of increase my group. But yeah, basement's super messy. I got another tank over there, but it's got like nothing in it. So and then
That's
I've got
okay.
one. Yeah.
We all got messy basements.
Oh yeah, never end. Like you clean it and then it's messy, and like 2 days later.
Well, yeah, after you clean all your fish tanks, you don't want to clean up the fish room after. That's
Yeah. But yeah, that's
awesome.
pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can tell you about. I think I got a dehumidifier too. I'm pretty sure everyone with the fish room's got one of those. I keep it at
Yep.
like 50% down here, and that's all the house plants really seem to like that. But yeah, that's I thought about like putting some shelves up here, maybe like put some food up there, just like unused space, kind of use that space, and then I don't know what I want to do with this wall. This really can't put anything here because the cart is always parked right here, but it seems like a waste not to use this drainage pipe.
We
So I
probably
don't know.
build a shelving unit and put the cart underneath that tanks up above it.
Right. Maybe do something like that.
Yeah, that way you can still put your cart and have the spot and then have tanks up above. Oh, possibilities.
Yeah, I'm always kind of thinking about the next step and what I want to do. And, I can't wait for this. This is going to be fun. I just haven't
You
had
gotta
the
think
time to
like,
go buy the rack for it, or I need to buy the stand for it.
are you gonna put
It
like
might,
like a
might
whole
actually
single
fit in here.
Now you got to put that like on like a single podium type of thing, where it's just like a little stand with a big tank on top.
I don't know yet. Just gonna do like a nice planted tank with a piece of wood in it, and just a group of rainbows, like a small group of Tudor McGills or something, and maybe some like house plants growing out the top of it. Nothing crazy, just something. Because like this area drives me crazy. I'd like to pick up all this and just have it be open floor space, but there's obviously no storage in here because everything's just tanks.
Well, yeah, you utilize everything perfectly. How much space did you put in between your tanks and the next layer? Like 8 inches?
Oh, yeah, 8 or 9 inches. I think nine. I think I tried to go for nine, but it might be just under nine. I learned the hard way with my first fish room that
Yeah,
6 inches
I did
is
too.
not enough.
6 inches is horrible. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Originally
you
did.
do on paper. You're like, that's plenty of room, and then you try to catch fish out of there, and you can't get your arm. Like this is probably more. This is probably more like 10 inches here.
Yep.
So, same thing with these 40s. I don't think there's. It's all about 9 or 10 inches. So I got plenty of room. I can lift these 40-gallon lids up all the way, and they clear. That was another thing I kind of wanted to make sure I could do. There's one of my big elderly ones coming out of the cave right now. It'll focus.
That
Uh,
looks good. John says use a bird bath stand for the bowl.
what's that? I'm sorry.
John says you should use a bird bath stand for your bowl.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool, and have like a light hanging from above.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I definitely want to suspend a light above this, and I might not even put a filter in it. I might just put like a little sponge filter in the back.
I would just do heavily planted and put a lot of substrate. I wouldn't even bother with a filter. It looks so much nicer. It's like an all natural kind of like pond look.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't even really need a filter when you got that many plants. You just keep it really lightly stocked.
Put some shrimp in there or something. Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about putting these guys in there. I think they would look really cool. The Luminatus.
Oh, they'd look perfect in there. They wouldn't be too big, and the file load would be small.
Yeah, if you just put like like a handful of those, and maybe some other dwarf species of fish, maybe some CPDs or something. I don't
I
know.
know that'd be very nice.
Yeah, so you can imagine it's going to sit right here behind this tank because I don't
Yep.
kind of tired of looking at all this junk. Um, yeah, just my happy place.
Awesome. Well, thank you, brother, for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me.
It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it, and so did everyone else. Everybody said you had a beautiful fish room.
Um,
I think you're definitely going to get more sales in the future now.
well, thank you guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble on, and hope it wasn't too boring. But yeah, just I appreciate you having me. I like watching these streams. I learn a lot from them.
Me too. All right, guys. So have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna end the stream. You can